Hey there everyone, it's Monday again. Yeah, as you can see I got a haircut when I was home over break. It was great. I wish, this top part could have been a little longer, but I wanted to go back to being not blonde. So, meh. I like it. It's good. I've forgotten how cold it is though without hair over your ears. So, having a lot of hats is great. But, yeah. So, back in school now, got a couple weeks until finals. So hopefully I'll still have time to post stuff on time the next couple weeks, but we'll see because it's going to be pretty busy. I'll do my best. Can't guarantee anything, but we'll go with that. We'll just go with it. Yeah. So what I want to talk about this week is something that it was drawn to my attention over break. Like my dad and I, if we see something on the internet that we think looks cool or the other one will like, or like we've been talking about it, then, we'll call each other's attention to it. And I don't remember what we were talking about beforehand, but I think it involves Saudi Arabia and women in it, and I don't remember what it was, but we've been talking about it, and he ended up, I think it was, Thursday or Friday, no, it wasn't Friday. I don't know. It was sometime over break. But he, yelled to me from his computer room that, I should be glad that I'm not a woman in Saudi Arabia. And then read out the headline, and I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was something along the lines of Saudi Arabia is now tracking their women electronically. Which is kind of like, what? I mean, I know that Saudi Arabia is one of the countries that has really strict religious laws against women, and not really against women, because I don't want to use terms like oppressing women and against women, because they do that, but I don't want to put my values and principles on a different set. So I'm trying not to use that, but I can't guarantee it. But, they're the only country where women aren't allowed to drive. So, I mean, I've been looking into it more just to see what it is. And in Saudi Arabia, before this, whatever system it is, came out, women are considered minors, kind of minors, and dependent on their husbands or male guardians. So, a brother or a dad. So, previously, whenever they'd wanted to leave the country, they had to have a signature from that guardian saying, yeah, they're allowed to leave the country. And there was also a service that men could sign up for, so if their dependents left the country without their knowledge, they'd get a text message or an email or something from the government saying, hey, your dependent's leaving the country. What's up with this? And now it's happening to men who haven't signed up for this policy, or haven't signed up for this at all. A female, an activist for women's rights in Saudi Arabia, a Saudi woman who's really been fighting for women's rights there, found out that someone she knows, the husband got a text saying that his wife was leaving the country, even though A, he hadn't signed up for the service, and B, they were leaving together. They were both going out of the country at the same time to the same place. And it's kind of well, I know she's leaving the country. So, it's automatic now. It's not something where they can, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine the laws in general, but, what? Why? What? Even if you have this notion where men are the guardians of women and have to, give them permission to do everything, which I don't agree with anyway, but, if I'd been raised somewhere else, I might believe differently. but even if that is the ideal you believe in, if you're leaving the country together at the same time, and you're not even signed up for this service at all. I mean, like, I think the guy said, I read somewhere, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something like, you know, if I'm leaving the country with my wife and the government thinks that I need to be notified of this, either we need to, like, not be married, like, there's some psychological issue going if you're both leaving the country at the same time, and the husband is not aware of this. That's a problem. But that's like, what else do you think is, I don't know. I don't get it. It's just caused such a huge uproar, and a lot of people are saying, these things should be being phased out. They shouldn't be being updated to the electronic enforcement of it. It's like, really? I mean, they are making progress. They did send female athletes to the Olympics. There is there's a female person in the religious law police thing that I don't really know a lot about, but like I think there's a police force or something that like does the religious law thing, and there's a woman in it now, which is a step in the right direction. Like, they're going towards giving women more rights. And then this happens, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's kind of scary if you think about it, because, what's to say that they aren't going to start microchipping the women or independence, or putting, like, tracking bracelets like we do on criminals, the ankle tracking things. Like, what's to say that's not going to happen? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen now, but once you start with the whole tracking of everyone, no matter what, like whether their guardian wants it or not, then the next logical step is, tracking bracelets or tracking chips, which I don't even agree with putting, like, the micro, like, some people, I don't know how real it is, but, like, some people talk about putting tracking chips in their kids, like, here. I don't even agree with that. Like, I don't like the idea of putting something inside someone so you know where they are at every moment of every day. It's just wrong. There's no privacy, or, like, it's like you don't have the right to go where you want to go without having someone checking on you every 5 minutes. I mean, there's enough of the GPS stuff in cell phones and iPods and iPads and all that stuff. There's enough GPS stuff that kids carry around with them all the time. Like, I usually have my cell phone on me, and I always have my iPod on me. So, like with the iPod, as long as I have Wi-Fi, you can find where I am. Cell phone is kind of older, so I don't think it has all the GPS stuff in it, but you can still find where I am because it's on, and you can triangulate the signal thing or whatever. You can still find me if you really need to. You don't need to stick a chip into me to say, oh, hey, she's crossing the country line. It's like, dumb. I don't get it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it in general, and the fact that it could be used to specifically oppress a group of people it kind of sucks. Like, it's not, it's just, I'm happy I live where I live, and I don't live in Saudi Arabia, but, like, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? We are, like, countries right now are moving so much forward in women's rights. Like, no matter how you define women's rights, there are, like, the certain things that are kind of considered universal. Like, We talked about in my class, in women's studies class, I'm taking, you have the power over others, and you have power of self-determination. And that's kind of what a universal women's rights movement is looking for. Like, everyone wants women, like, that's the whole point, is so women and any other, like, minority or whatever has the power to determine what they do, what they believe, what they think, what they do with their bodies. You know, I mean, there are laws that, you know, you can't, you know, the power of self-determination doesn't say that you can go out and steal things or murder things, because those are just universally considered wrong. But, you know, it's, what it is that women have the right to say, you know, I want to go here, or I want to drive, or I want to take birth control so I don't have babies. You know, like, men have the say over what they do, and in a lot of places, even here, men have the say over what women do. And this is not to say that all men are like this or all women are like this. You know, here, like, there's different opinions on who should have control over what. And it's a really touchy subject that I don't want to get into right now, because I'm running out of time, because YouTube has a video time limit. But, you know, like, I can do a video on that at some point, if I can't think of anything else. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with that, and it's nuts. Yeah. But, you know, that just shows the difference in different countries and different belief systems. You know, like, if that happened in the U.S., boom, massive, the media and people, there's enough outcry as it is in Saudi Arabia and in the other countries around it. And this is from a country that generally is, like, on the lower end of the spectrum in giving women the power of self-determination. Think about what would happen if it happened here. That'd be, like, everyone would be going crazy. Like, it'd be bad. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? You know, it's like, what's the point of this? I don't know. I mean, like, I don't agree with the whole electronic tracking thing, you know, like I've said, I don't agree with it. But if they had it where a guy could sign up to use it if he wanted to, alright, fine, whatever. I don't agree with it, and I think it's very not good for the women, but, you know, at least the guy can determine whether he wants to use it or not. Now, it's like, I don't really care what my wife does, but you're gonna tell me anyway, even if I'm leaving the country with her. It's like, what? You know, this is the kind of thing that should be getting phased out, not being updated to work with the new electronic world. So, yeah. It sucks that that's happening, and I hope that's kind of the stuff that, you know, that I wish I knew what I could do to help, but I don't. So, I'm just gonna talk about it, and I hope that one of you guys has a better idea than me. So, yeah. It kinda sucks to be a woman in Saudi Arabia, but, you know, you gotta make do with the cards you're dealt and make the best of it. Hey guys, sorry about the change in position and the fact that I'm, like, you know, holding this. But I realized, like, as I was almost done earlier, that I was late for my work study, so I had to go take off even though I didn't have much filming left. So, yeah, it's later now, the lighting sucks, and I need to go to class soon. So, just to finish up the video, my name's Winnie Diaz. I make these videos every week, every Monday. Jesus, lighting really sucks. But I pretty much said all I wanted to say. So I will see all you guys next week. And you will actually be able to see me, even though you really can't right now. But yeah, peace.